Well, that's the question too. Yeah, whether portals. I mean, they talk about black holes in the mainstream cosmology, but then they put them way out in outer space. It's fabricated medium they made. But what if they actually like if there's areas on Earth that you could enter? I know like people are going to say Narnia, like Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, but yeah, like could you actually enter into some region where you would enter into it, but then you would enter out into like a different. There's so many things in sci-fi movies and stuff that are like that,
Right.
transporters and all that. Like it's kind of a classic idea, and it kind of incorporates the black hole concept of like time and space changing in some way.
Right.
So if the
Dude, I've
if
always
the
preferred Pac-Man. I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. I was saying is the Pacific Rim around the whole Earth like a black hole, a transporting black hole?
I don't know, man. Maybe I honestly don't know at this point. I just never the whole AE.
Well, think about
The sun is always banking right or left. It's just kind of like fuck. Everything's circular still. It's like we haven't really escaped, man. It's like a flattened out globe. It's like, damn it.
Right.
I don't know what to do now.
But then the outer rim, yeah. What do you do about those pathways? Yeah.
I don't know about the ships, but you guys read the planetary movements or whatever in the Book of Enoch? Illumination, whatever. Luminaries and their movements.
No. How does he describe the movements? I'm still
well.
Ah man. My cosmic pendulum, I still have to do the there's another two-dimensional model I need to work out where the sun moves back and forth like a pendulum. I haven't worked that one out. Obviously, it's more difficult.
It's in the Book of Enoch.
I could fucking work it out. Is it?
So in the Book of Enoch, yes. It says that there are gates through which the sun enters, and it tells you exactly how many days it stays in each gate before it moves to the next one. And this morning, it starts from the 8th gate and moves to the 8th gate. This morning, it moves from the 8th gate down to the 7th gate. And it details, and it also details the moon's movements when it's going to travel through which gate. Some of it's highly unpredictable, or like highly unguessable. You just have to observe it, I guess. And he observed it, apparently. He's marked it all down. I think the gate system makes most sense in a Pac-Man reality.
Yeah. I'm definitely for black holes or wormholes. Whatever you want to call it. Portals. You use that with the Globers are going to make fun of you. But if you start sounding like Einstein, you're going to be a genius. Oh yeah, the sun just touches a black hole in the east and appears from a wormhole. Whatever in the west.
As long as it's light years away, yeah. As long as it's very far away, then it's permissible. Yeah, and involves bendy, warpy space time.
Then it's acceptable. It's fine. Yeah, I heard you guys talking about the multiple Easts. And that one threw a wrench in whatever model essentially you have to make. Because I don't know. I just flipped their world. Like I said, put us feet to feet with them. Upside down. So I couldn't. But then the sun goes around me. So you see, it goes under me if I do that. So this is where I'm fucked. It's like, how do I account for the 12 hours beneath? I don't know.
Well, what about the idea that day is actually, and apparently in the Quran it mentions this as well. There's a guy. Do you guys know Kevin 7 is his name on here?
Yes.
Yeah, he did a presentation. He's got a channel with a lot of good videos that he's done too. This is I'm posting. I saved this screenshot. This is one of them. I saved a few of them, but this talks about how the Quran mentions the rising place and the setting place of the sun, and then he kind of put that dual pole kind of layout for that. And he has that's from his whole video on his channel. But he also talks about. There's also this animation which this guy Flat Earth Persian did, which shows like this day and night, kind of the night enveloping the day and the day enveloping the night. It's almost look like a water and fluid almost. What about the idea that like the night is actually like an entity? Yeah, and apparently, and Kevin was saying that like that's what it says in the Quran too, that the night is actually like a thing. It's like an entity. It's like an actual
it blocks out
state.
your view of it blocks out your view of the
Pac-Man's
sun. So
that's the one
literally,
that
even
actually
if
Pac-Man's something. So the night Pac-Man's the day. The night eats the day. Like it envelops the day, sandwiches the day. The day layer in the sky, in the seven skies above. So the
Yeah.
night layer covers it up. Pac-Man's it.
but it literally
It's interesting.
like it is an object, and it has, physical properties, including that it inhibits the viewing of the sun. And so even if like you'd still be able to see the sun because it's not that far away, when the shadow comes over you, the sun sets because it's inhibiting all of those rays. And so all of the things that make a sunset on a horizon where your resolution fails, that happens a lot quicker.
That's interesting. So then in that case, it wouldn't just be like the idea of like just a simple light bulb above the ground, the way that some people try to straw man sort of flat earth stuff, or the globe guys sometimes are like, oh, it wouldn't do this or wouldn't do that. And they try to, the way, well, the angular size change thing they say as well. But I'm just saying the way you're describing it, that are you saying that the night would not just be, because in the globe model they try to say it's all just blackness and then there's this light, out in the blackness or whatever, and then they claim the darkness is happening because you're on a ball and you're on the shadow side of the ball. And then if you try to like convert that idea and say, okay, we'll just take a flat earth and then just kind of like the way the Gleason's map and the AE map kind of thing, you take a ball, you still have the sun a ball, and you just put it above a flat earth and then you move it around. And then there's all these arguments around it, that so anyways, I'm just saying, would that kind of tap into what you're saying, that like if the night is actually in some way inhibiting the day, that it wouldn't just be the way the light travels through the medium. It would be that like it's like how much the light is able to travel with the contrast of day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Highly suppressed. Yeah. It's not just a lack of light. It's actually traveling through a different medium than daylight.
Yeah, that is really interesting. Or thinking of like the blue sky as like a luminary, like it's a celestial body based, like the blue
Right.
is an actual body, and then the black is a body, and then they're enveloping, consuming, transmuting each
And
other.
that's why you can see the moon during the day and like, see it from a long ways off. You can see it across the world when you can't see the sun when it's across the world, but you can see the moon when it's across the world because the moon can pierce through the day and the night.
Oh, right. Yeah. I see what you mean. You're able to.
It's just lower. It's lower in the heavens. Like if you layer it, like if you just do basic two-dimensional cross section, whatever the shape of the dome is. If you do have, let's say, spheres within spheres, whatever, the moon would be under the night layer. So the night layer showeth the stars and covers up the sun. So it's under the sun, the darkness layer. And then God said the day layer showeth the sun. So the day layer, the blue sky is above the yellow sun. Right. So it's a different layer.
Oh,
Those
and
two layers are separate from the movement of the sun.
that's also the reason why you can see stars through the moon, is because stars are actually the closest celestial bodies to us, not the furthest. So even though they're small, they're actually closer up to us. So you're not seeing stars through the moon, you're seeing stars in front of them.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, that is really interesting. In one of those videos on, I don't have it pulled up. I wish I'd grabbed the screenshot, but and Kevin, he had like on his video, he showed kind of what you're saying, Cyrus, where like the different layers. I think he just kind of drew it, like what it from the Quran. I think he drew, and it was sort of showing how, like the one part I remember, I don't know if I remember his channel. I have to look through my list here and see if I can grab it, but that screenshot. But it kind of shows like, I'll just say it in a simple sense, but if the sun is above the black, then if the black is above you, then even though the sun may be above you as well, you won't see the sun. It's like the black just completely
Right.
shades it out. I
But
guess like in a way, like if you're standing under a tent and you can't see the sun, like in a way, but the tent would be like the blackness, and it would just make it completely invisible.
right, except the daylight is also like its own object, and the sun is always centered, and it's always directly opposite to the night.
Yeah.
Guys, like, imagine the ancient people seeing a solar eclipse. Like, they would probably freak out.
Oh man, solar eclipses are not that rare. They knew how to calculate when they would happen and where they would happen.
Nah, there's no way.
Yeah, they did, man. Look into like how the Chinese did it. Like they've known for a long time.
If I saw a solar eclipse and I was like living in a mud hut, I would freak out.
Ask the people in the mud huts if they freaked out, because we have people living in mud huts today.
I mean, they're not really that, when you think about it, like a solar eclipse, yeah, it does get a little bit dimmer and the sun kind of goes dark for a little bit. And then the lunar one, it turns red and stuff. But I mean, like they know when they're going to happen because the lunar nodes. So if you know the lunar node cycle, then they're on a cycle. So whatever it
They're
is,
in a
they know
cycle.
that it's when all those, the
Like
lunar
every year and a
nodes,
half. It's very predictable.
yeah, or the sun and the moon and the lunar nodes all line up.
You really think like every single I feel like only 1% of the population could do that in ancient times. The average person probably had no idea what was going on.
Maybe the Europeans had no idea. Other people did.
Like who?
Oh yeah, we also have the black sun in the Quran. Not much on it, but a little.
Is that like an eclipse?
Is it like what?
Like a solar eclipse?
It's what causes the solar eclipse, right? It's the dark body that cancels out the light of the sun and the moon. So that's what the Quran calls the sign of the night. And God created it erased. Erased but
Sun.
a little bit.
Well, he erased it. He never told us when he erased it. The midnight sun.
Well,
Some
he
people
said
got to see it, but not us.
he said he erased
Otherwise,
it
how the Mayans know about it?
in the same way that he said that he made the sun sight giving. So I would say that probably from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know. But how the Mayans know about it then?
Because they studied
Yeah.
it.
Maybe, or maybe they saw it, right? Well,
And
maybe it used to
if you-
exist in their world.
And if you analyze the eclipses, you might could figure out its path. And also, some of those scientists, Jerry Vassalatos talked about, could analyze where exactly all the bodies were in the sky, according to the vibration. So, like, he might could track it as well. Who is that, Moray? I think it was Moray.
I do not remember that part.
This conversation started with Jerry Vassalatos for me.
So, Miss, do you believe in evolution?
Do we all believe in evolution?
That is a topic change. I mean, if we're gonna shift it, but I
I
don't know.
mean, I'm not trying to shift topics. I'm just trying to like understand this person.
Well, either way, I wanted to
Uh,
post this. I just grabbed this image. This is kind of, if you want to respond to him, Pumpkin, but I was just gonna say, just because I pulled this up real quick, but Kevin had sent me that. and he was pointing out like on
Yeah.
that type of with the light and day pattern, how the sun is like where those two red lines like meet, and it just shows how the people in the darkness would not see it because they're in the actual dark, you know, even though the people all the way over there on the lower one are seeing daylight. So he kind of was, I think, describing it like from the Quran, how it's just back on that topic of the day and night, how like, and it's kind of like linked to what you were saying, like there's ways in which if you can see the sun from a further location where another position is in darkness, but this could potentially explain that darkness is actually either blocking or in some way enveloping the day itself, you know, and that it's working in a slightly different way than it would be if it was just like a light bulb in a ceiling in a room.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely explains some stuff. And science says that darkness is an absence of light and that cold is an absence of heat. But we already know, the moon casts a cold light, so they're wrong about that. They're also wrong about shadow. God says he could have made it just stay right under you, like a shadow is a real thing.
But is that just because it's cold at nighttime?
Say what?
Like, is that because it's cold at nighttime, or is the moon actually cold?
Yes, the moon is actually cold. Yes, it casts a cold light. So moonlight is cold, like a moonlit surface is colder than a moon shadowed surface where there is no moonlight.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Fundy,
Yeah, for
Fundy,
sure.
you did this. What's the conclusion you came to, Fundy?
That coldness is a real thing, right? The moon can't be stealing heat from everything around it just by its light touching it, right? Like that doesn't really make sense. It has to be casting cold.
When I did the experiment properly, I might add some control for all the other things that might influence. My results were the thermometer with the moonlight shining on it was always colder than the one in the moon shade. However, they were both dropping at like as the air got colder, right? Both of them got colder and colder, but the one in the light was always at least 2 degrees ahead of the one in the shade. So it's not as
That's what you
strong.
would expect. That's what you would expect to see, though, right? If it's cooling all of the like ambient air and all the ambient temp, you just expect the one in the light to be a little bit ahead of the other one, right?
If it's coming from the moon, then yeah.
That's what happens.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys think starlight is cool as well? Is cold? Starlight?
I don't know.
How are you going to prove that one?
Man, it was always colder. Whenever I could see the stars in the winter, man, you're in for a cold night, dude. So I've always thought about that. Just saying that stars, you produce cool light, or
Yeah, well, they say
unproven, obviously.
the cloud layer sort of provides something of an insulative factor.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what they say.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Light pollution.
It certainly doesn't. It certainly doesn't.
It's like a
warm it,
blanket.
so.
It's a blanket, it keeps in the heat. It's like, I don't know if I'm buying that one. Sure.
Yeah, since they're essentially huge ice cubes.
You guys ever heard
Ice
that,
cloud.
what was it? Like the starlight is a little bit brighter at the time when the moon is fully lit. So, what do you, what do they call it? It's not a new moon. It's like a full moon. So the full moon, basically at that time, the stars are also a little bit brighter, like something like 15% or something. But it's like indiscernible because, I mean, you've got this big bright torch in the dark. So it's a bit hard to see whether or not the stars themselves are actually lit up a little bit more. But there seems to be some sort of correlation between brighter stars and the moon being more lit.
It's interesting because, you know, the moon gets brighter the more center it is to the night. So,
That's an interesting
know,
point. Yeah. It's the only celestial body that you can see also in the day, as well as the sun, obviously. But you can definitely see the moon right through that day. They just say it's just so bright that it pierces through the fact that the sky is blue, which would be like an opaque sky, and they're saying, well, you can see through that opaque sky to this luminary and beyond it, just because it's a little bit brighter, they say, or something. I ain't buying that.
Yeah. It is bright.
Yeah, but I just don't think it should be able to. Sorry. I just don't think the moon should be able to cut through the atmosphere. Like if you're looking up through into the atmosphere and it's blue, and the atmosphere goes up to something on the order of what, maybe 70K at most, 100 kilometers. So I don't know, sort of 60 miles or something. The moon is well beyond that, and yet you can see through that opaque sky, which is blue. You can see the moon coming through. Something's going on there.
I mean, unless the moon is closer than the sky. Perhaps the sky, as we see it, is really, you know, like the 6th or 7th layer of the dome. We don't really know.
I think you said before, Pumpkin, that you could see the moon. You could see a star through the moon, implying that the stars were closer than the moon. That wouldn't comport with the notion of the fact that you can see this. You can see the moon during the day, but you can't see the stars. If it was in that sort of layering effect, then I think I need to go into action polarized lenses and different sort of phenomenon in the sky, which are permitting some light and not other lights and whatnot. I'm not sure how to then convey it, but yeah. Polarizing lenses.
See if you can see the stars through the daylight.
Yeah, very difficult. Like you can quite often see the star Syrus
so bright
in the dawn, but yeah.
Yeah, there's some that you can see at dusk and some you can see at dawn. I really like one per, I think. But you know, it has to be pretty dark already. Because that daylight is really bright. It is.
What effect do you think looking up like a really tall like hollow tower would have? Like without a roof. Like does that allow you to see like more clearly through the I don't know where I'm getting this idea from. It's just like coming to me like
What are you doing with the tower?
like okay, so basically the only light that can hit your eyes it would be light that enters in through the very top of the tower, right? So
Right.
would that somehow, I don't know, allow you to see through the blue like more easily because it has like less to compete? I'm not sure that makes any sense at all. But
Well, you're basically just getting a really long like barrel or whatever, you're just getting a really long
yeah,
way to see through, long telescope. I think, you're gonna have to identify the energy signature of the star, and then you're gonna have to search through the light signatures coming through during the day and search for the signature of the star.
all right. Well, hear me out. hypothetically, on the globe model, if you had a hollow roofless tower tall enough to go above the air, right? Then you would be seeing straight into space. You'd be able to see the stars if you just were in a tunnel, like an opaque tower where the sunlight isn't shining through the walls, right? And so, all right, well, obviously that works if you know, if the tower's tall enough to get all the way outside of the atmosphere, right? But what if it's a foot short of making it all the way out? What if it's a mile short? What if it's 2 miles short? Does that mean the taller, like, does it have to poke all the way out the other side in order to see stars? Does it make sense if it does poke out? Boom, you're seeing stars, right? You don't have to worry about any of the blue scattering light of the sun or whatever.
Is this a
You just
globe
get,
model?
yeah, globe model, hypothetically. And so
Yeah, I mean,
I feel
hypothetically,
the
that
taller the
would be
tower,
fine.
the more easily you'd be able to see stars, I think. So I don't know. I wonder if that's something that could be put to the test in a meaningful way. I just don't know how much of a tower you would
Well,
need
well,
to
the
make it
problem with that would be
testable.
if you could imagine a really big, like, all right, you got a ball spinning through space, and then you got a really long stick sticking out of it. Like, that's just asking for problems, either for the stick or for the planet.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why they say like the space elevator is kind of an impossible idea.
Yeah, definitely. On a globe, it would definitely be impossible.
I don't know.
Ironically,
I
it's
think
totally possible on a flat Earth.
I think I'm remembering. I'm driving, so someone please Google this for me. I think I heard someone say once that if you stand at the bottom of a really deep well during the daytime, you can see the night sky.
At nighttime, you said?
Well, it's daytime, but I think I've heard before that if you, it doesn't make any sense to me. I just feel like someone's told me that before. That during the day, if you stand at the bottom of a super deep well, you don't see the blue sky. You actually see, the black background and the stars
Well,
instead.
I will say that if you, anytime during the day, if you look directly above you, it is actually a pretty deep blue. It's not that bright.
Wouldn't that
Yeah, yeah.
imply, Fundy, that you could just
Uh-huh.
put a telescope up into the sky and block out all the light and presumably see straight up?
If you found the right old factory with a nice clear smokestack, it's like 10 stories tall, maybe you could try that.
Hell yeah, dude. Great idea. But yeah, I wanted to, what is your name Pumpkin? I haven't looked at my phone, since I'm
Yeah,
driving. Uh, yeah, I just wanted to agree with you that like the deepest blue color in the sky is always the sky right above your head. And then it
yeah,
gets,
right.
lighter and lighter away
Yeah.
from that center point.
It's also a principle of painting. Everyone wants to put the dark stuff in the background, but actually, the foreground always has the darkest colors. It gets lighter as you go away.
Those fools. And sorry, Rick, I'm not sure I followed what you're asking about the telescope.
It's just to do with the premise that what you can sit at the bottom of a well, and presumably because you cut off all the scattering light or something, then you can pierce through the blue or something. But then if
Yeah.
you just put a telescope upon your eye and collimate it, you'd think that, well, I mean, then it'd be the same affect. I mean, there might be a couple of different things going on there. The telescope has a curved, well, quite often anyway, has a curved glass lens at the top of it. So who knows?
I think
Fascinating that you
maybe
guys think that would work.
I mean, there's some reasons why I think it's possible. I think the skinnier the tube you're looking through, the better probably too, because that aperture where light from all different angles would be coming in from, like the longer and skinnier tube you look through, I think the more only light directly in front of it, the light shining, you know, straight into it and hitting the back of the barrel, if you will have the, biggest impact.
Like straight up, I think even on the globe model, like it's not about like even if you take a cross section, it's going to be filled with so many layers of super bright air, at least given what we normally see in any given sliver of the sky. So basically, if you can imagine cropping that down in, MS Paint to a few pixels, that's basically what you're going to end up with. You're not going to be able to see anything further because you're still under the same conditions that the greater picture was under. Like the original idea of building a tower, you're not going to be able to see anything further because you're still under the same conditions that the greater picture was under. Like the original idea of building a tower so high that it passes all that is definitely the best idea. It's just mild, guys.
What if one used like a high altitude helium balloon during the daytime to get above most of the atmosphere? Wouldn't that be a simpler way of doing it?
A satellite.